evening, you're watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. I am Sosan Ali and here are tonight's main headlines. The Sultanate of Oman welcomes the agreement reached on the terms and mechanisms for implementing the first phase of the ceasefire in Gaza and stresses the need to continue efforts aimed at consolidating the agreement. With an investment value exceeding 8 million Omani riyals, 32 usufruct contracts are signed in the agricultural, industrial and animal production sectors. The Sultanate of Oman and the Republic of Azerbaijan discussed strengthening investment partnerships and economic cooperation opportunities in the private sector. And the first Gulf Mental Health Conference in Muscat reviews the latest research and innovative strategies to improve the efficiency of mental health services. Those were the headlines, now for the news in detail. His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq sent a cable of greetings to His Excellency President Ratu Naikama Lalu Balavo of the Republic of Fiji on the occasion of his country's independence anniversary. The Sultanate of Oman expressed its welcome for the agreement reached on the terms and mechanisms for implementing the first phase of the ceasefire agreement in Gaza. This agreement is expected to contribute to halting the war, releasing prisoners and detainees on both sides, and ensuring the entry of humanitarian aid into the Strip. In a statement issued today by the Foreign Ministry, the Sultanate of Oman stressed the necessity of continuing regional and international efforts aimed at stabilizing the ceasefire and paving the way for a just and comprehensive political solution that guarantees the legitimate rights of the Palestinian people and contributes to achieving security and stability in the region. As part of the activities held at the Urban Home and Build Conference and Exhibition 2025, 32 usufruct contracts were signed to empower small and medium enterprises in the agricultural, industrial and livestock sectors across several governorates. Here's a report.
In a step that reflects economic development and enhances local quality investments, alongside of empowering entrepreneurs from small and medium enterprises, 32 usufruct contracts were signed on the sidelines of the Urban October event. These contracts cover the agricultural, industrial and livestock sectors across several governorates, with a total investment value exceeding 8.2 million Omani riyals, spanning on an area of more than 7 million square meters. The usufruct contracts includes fields such as vehicle repair, workshops for aluminum, carpentry and blacksmithing, as well as warehouses and laboratories, boat and marine unit maintenance, in addition to organic farming, fruit production, meat production, feed manufacturing, natural oils, red sugar and other related fields.
About 3.75 million, and it's about 28,000 meters squared wide. It's a new city walk that has 4 buildings and many commercial shops. It has a cinema, it has a sports hall, both for men and women, and it'll be a very nice for the community in Rostaq.
Separately, the Office of the Governor of South Al-Batina signed 13 investment and execution agreements with several private sector institutions, with a value exceeding 9 million Omani riyals. These agreements aim to enhance local development, attract investments and support the national economy.
Today we are spread for signed tenders for development parks and gardens in South Al-Batna Governorate, and this is total value more than 9 million riyal Omani for 9 wilayas in South Al-Batna Governorate.
As part of the Urban Home and Building Exhibition and Conference, a panel discussion was also held that discussed the pivotal role of gardens in urban city development and improving the quality of life, all to make green spaces an essential part of sustainable urban planning in the Sultanate of Oman.
Oman Chamber of Commerce and Industry organized a roundtable meeting between the Sultanate of Oman and the Republic of Azerbaijan. The meeting discussed the role of the private sector in building effective cooperations and expanding commercial partnerships between the two friendly countries. Here's more in this report.
The Sultanate of Oman and the Republic of Azerbaijan held a roundtable meeting attended by a number of business representatives from both countries. The meeting brought together economic and investment leaders to discuss ways to strengthen bilateral cooperation.
Actually, before this meeting, we had B2B meetings with Omani companies, and we had very good, interesting conversation with the agricultural business. We are in the agricultural business as well in Azerbaijan. Our business starts from crop production till the milk production and covers all the supply chain. And the Omanese companies, which has huge cattle farm, they were very interested in cattle feed productions and so on.
The discussions aim to enhance economic and investment relations, explore new opportunities, and build effective partnerships between the public and private sectors, while expanding trade exchange for the mutual benefit of both nations.
And then we have a very interesting talk with real estate investments as well. As a company, we have very diverse geographical investment portfolio, starting from Montenegro to Turkey to Georgia, Azerbaijan, and Uzbekistan. So we never close the geography, the real estate investments.
Innovation, growth, and partnership are shared visions between Oman and Azerbaijan as they look toward a promising future, particularly in sectors such as renewable energy, tourism, logistics, technology, and manufacturing industries.
The Ministry of Health, represented by Al Masarra Hospital, organized the first Gulf Mental Health Conference, which began in Muscat today under the theme Access to Services, Mental Health in Disasters and Emergencies. The three-day conference aims to raise awareness on mental health and exchange experiences and knowledge among researchers, decision makers, and health professionals. The conference showcased the latest research and innovative strategies that contribute to improving access to and efficiency of mental health services, in addition to strengthening Gulf cooperation in this field. The opening ceremony of the conference was held under the auspices of His Excellency Sulaiman bin Nasser Al-Hajji, Undersecretary of the Ministry of Health for Administrative and Financial Affairs. Still to come in our news bulletin. The National Program for the Development of the Private Sector and Foreign Trade, NASDAHR, reviews its achievements. U.S. President Donald Trump announced that a ceasefire agreement has been reached in the Gaza Strip. Trump said in a press statement that Hamas and Israel have formally agreed to the agreement, the first phase of which includes a prisoner and hostage exchange. He said this will likely take place early next week, adding that the agreement also stipulates the withdrawal of Israeli forces from the Gaza Strip to a previously agreed upon point. In the same regard, Hamas said it had reached an agreement to cease the war in Gaza following peace talks held in the Egyptian city of Sharm el-Sheikh. In a statement, the movement called on both the United States and the mediators to compel Israel to fully implement the terms of the agreement. It previously stated that it had exchanged lists of Palestinian prisoners to be released from Israeli prisons according to the agreed upon criteria and numbers. International reactions poured in following the announcement of the first phase of U.S. President Donald Trump's Gaza peace plan. Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas welcomed the agreement, calling it a step towards a lasting political solution and reiterating the goal of an independent Palestinian state on the 1967 borders, with East Jerusalem as its capital. GCC Secretary General Jassim Mohammed al-Bidawi hailed the deal as a new hope to ease humanitarian suffering in Gaza, praising the role of the United States, Qatar, Egypt, and Turkey in brokering the agreement. He stressed the importance of turning the step into a political path leading to a full Israeli withdrawal and a comprehensive two-state solution. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres also welcomed the ceasefire, commending the mediators' efforts. British Prime Minister Keir Starmer called for its immediate implementation to allow aid into Gaza, while Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese described it as an essential step towards lasting peace. EU Foreign Policy Chief Kaja Kallas said the agreement marks an important step forward and a real opportunity to end the war. In Gaza, celebrations broke out after the Israeli occupation and Hamas agreed to the first phase of U.S. President Donald Trump's peace plan. The deal marks the most significant breakthrough in months of war. More details coming up.
Crowds in Deir al-Balah cheered and chanted as details of the agreement emerged. The deal calls for a pause in fighting, the release of hostages and Palestinian prisoners, and an Israeli military withdrawal from much of Gaza. Hamas confirmed it will release 20 living hostages in exchange for prisoners and humanitarian aid, while Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu vowed to bring them all home. Palestinians described feelings of overwhelming joy at the news, with many calling it a moment of hope after years of conflict. Hamas said the agreement follows serious and responsible negotiations, urging mediators to ensure Israel fully implements its commitments. But major questions remain unresolved, including demilitarization and Gaza's future governance.
3 people were killed and others injured in Russian attacks on the Ukrainian region of Kherson. Russian forces also launched a drone attack overnight, injuring 5 people and damaging a port and energy infrastructure, causing power outages for 30,000 consumers and sparking fires. Meanwhile, the Russian Ministry of Defense announced that air defense systems intercepted and destroyed 19 Ukrainian drones overnight. Heavy rain from a typhoon battered a chain of Japanese islands south of Tokyo, and the government urged residents to watch for landslides and flooding. A local news agency reported there has been record rainfall in parts of the Aizu Island chain located south of the Japanese capital. Hundreds of people took refuge at evacuation centers. 1 man died after being swept away by waves while fishing in the island of Honshu. During a media gathering in Muscat, the National Program for the Development of the Private Sector and Foreign Trade, NSDEHR, reviewed its achievements and outlined its upcoming initiatives aimed at strengthening private sector competitiveness and expanding Oman's global trade reach. More details coming up.
Established under Oman Vision 2040, the national program for the development of the private sector and foreign trade, NASDAHR, has become a driving force in advancing economic diversification. In its first phase, the program oversaw private sector investments worth more than 11 billion Omani riyals and launched initiatives such as the Invest Oman platform, the National Invest Strategy, and the Investor Residency Program. In its current phase, covering 2024 to 2025, NASDAHR is focusing on empowering Omani companies to expand globally and boost the competitiveness of national products and services. It is also developing integrated economic clusters that connect investment, production, and trade, while coordinating with more than 20 government entities to implement reforms that enhance Oman's standing in global competitiveness indices.
We need to involve the private sector, Oman Chamber of Commerce, in all stages of making these initiatives, so that there are many initiatives in this program that will help the private sector to develop. Like one initiative is making a team or program that is combined between the private sector and government in making decisions. Any economic, any commercial decision that is made by the government should be involved the private sector.
Beyond its economic initiatives, NASDAHR is also helping shape Oman's international image under the royal patronage of His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq. The program led the launch of the Unified National Promotional Identity, a symbol of Oman's partnership-driven approach to global engagement and sustainable growth. NASDAHR stands at the core of Oman's mission to empower the private sector, expand global trade horizon, and enhance the competitiveness of the economy. Reporting from Muscat, this is Saleh bin Khalfan al-Rahbi.
Al-Baraymi Industrial City has witnessed a growth in investment requests, reaching 33 during the first half of this year. The city continues to offer a range of investment incentives that have encouraged investors and contributed to the increase in the new applications. The total investment volume of the new projects exceeded 1 million Omani riyals, with rented spaces covering an area of 58,000 square meters. This brings the total investment value in the city to 287 million Omani riyals. Al-Baraymi Industrial City is moving steadily to enhance its infrastructure and attract further investments through ongoing developments in internal roads, the water network, and sanitation system. As part of its commitment to keeping pace with modern technologies and developing its training system, the Royal Navy of Oman has inaugurated a virtual reality laboratory at the Sultan Qaboos Naval Academy. The ceremony included a visual presentation showcasing the laboratory's technology and its role in employing the latest interactive tools to enhance the educational process at the Academy. The inauguration was attended by Major General Saif bin Nasser al-Rahbi, Commander of the Royal Navy of Oman. This is the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we wrap up tonight's bulletin, here are our main headlines once again. The Sultanate of Oman welcomes the agreement reached on the terms and mechanisms for implementing the first phase of the ceasefire in Gaza and stresses the need to continue efforts aimed at consolidating the agreement. With an investment value exceeding 8 million Omani riyals, 32 usufruct contracts are signed in the agricultural, industrial, and animal production sectors. The Sultanate of Oman and the Republic of Azerbaijan discussed strengthening investment partnerships and economic cooperation opportunities in the private sector. And the first Gulf Mental Health Conference in Muscat reviews the latest research and innovative strategies to improve the efficiency of mental health services. With that, we come to the end of tonight's bulletin. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time.